And we're back at it again, guys. We're really on a roll here because today's a good day. A lot of you guys that have really bad back pain or dude, my knees hurt, all of the joint shit that just starts bothering all of us has to do with underdeveloped glutes. And it's not about underdeveloped, you haven't activated them. But the problem is most people are like, dude, hip thrust, hip thrust. And you're probably like, dude, first off, I don't want to set up the hip thrust machine. Plus, honestly, the glute activation is just, I can't find it. I can't quite find it. And I'm not here to sell you on glute training, but it's just about posterior chain training. That is what I'm going to sell you on. If we have our glutes engaged properly, we walk better, our posture's a ton better, you become more explosive, you'll get a lot faster, you'll get a lot stronger. And it's because it's a much stronger muscle than your hamstrings or your quads. Yeah, and I know, we're dudes, right? It doesn't really matter about the glutes, bro. But it's just about performance. That's how I want you to think of glutes, is it's purely performance-based. Because if you have strong glutes, everything else comes downhill. And I have this exercise that not only is going to activate your glutes, in terms of just even stress delivered to the muscle, being able to actually engage it properly and find it. But let's take it a step further. It is also a mobility exercise. Yeah, I've managed to bridge the gap on it all, but if you guys are new here, that's what I do. And those of you that have been here for a while, you know this is par for the course. We basically take our time and we maximize it. The amount that we do per minute is much better than the rest of these jabronis just going inside the gym, looking to throw around weight. That's all they're looking to do. Us, we're snipers, we're surgeons, whatever you want to word it. The point is we are precise, dead between the eyes, and we nail it every time. And although this is a glute activation video type of thing, you know what I mean, I'm going to show you guys a superset for the posterior chain. I actually made that decision on the fly, but as you guys know, we are superset supremacists, but the way we superset is a little bit different than most. We're not doing antagonist muscles where it's like chest and back or biceps and triceps. Not that those are bad, but I like to take it a step further because like I said, we're surgeons and we're snipers. So the way I do it is the same exact muscle back to back. But not just the same exact muscle, the same exact portion of the muscle back to back, but in this case, we're just going to keep it the posterior chain, glutes and hamstrings. But the first one I'm going to show you guys is easily 1000% an exercise you have never done before. That is a guarantee. Without further ado, let's get into the first part of the superset, which is going to be special. This is how you're going to start. Just like this, you want to have that 90-90 thing going. Basically, you want to almost sit Indian style with one leg. The other leg, you just want to attach towards your knee right over here. Boom. And then from there, we're just going to sit up, just like this. Boom. Back down. Boom. But we're going to take it up a step, right? Because that's how we do it on this page. You're going to do it with a barbell on your back. Yeah, we're doing that. And what's nice about this is it's unilateral, which means we can figure out, oh, I noticed my left side's a little bit tighter than my right. Now you've got imbalances to work on. This is the beauty of this exercise. It's not like a mobility exercise either. It does have a ton of mobility for sure, but we're also putting muscle onto our posterior chain. So just like this, just like I said, and you're gonna come up, boom, just like that. Back down. These are tough. And when you come up, you don't want to come up like this. That defeats the purpose. You want to have good posture. Hold them back up just like your squatting position. No different. Keep it tight. Boom. Keep it tight. Keep everything just like this. We take it to failure because we're men. You know what I'm saying? Even though these 90-90s are a little bit fruity, let's not lie. Okay, same thing. By the way, if you don't need weight in the beginning, don't do it. But if you're strong enough to do weighted, do weighted. It's way more fun. It'll take you to failure a lot quicker. I'm telling you right now, when you pop up, boom, it just completely takes over. Like you'll feel your glutes and your hamstrings all the way through, especially like I said, unilaterally. So when that happens, and that's the beauty of doing single-legged exercises, especially with leg training, you start figuring out where your imbalances are within your hips. Boom. And I am noticing that my right side is a little bit more difficult than my left, which means my left hip and my left glute and hamstring are probably stronger than my right side, which isn't surprising because I actually got knee surgery. And as a result, I probably naturally favor my left side. You know what I mean? Dude, that's nuts. I really have to do a superset, dude. This is ass. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I can't. I'm done. Oh, boy. Shit, we got to do the superset. All right, superset time. That should do it for us. Oh, that's heavy. And by the way, when it comes to leg curls, what you want to do is make sure you're extending and contracting all the way through. You really, really, really want to get up on them. Like, I see a lot of people kind of like go like this and kind of just limit the range of motion. No, with posterior chain, especially amongst direct hamstring training, you do not want to make the mistake of leaving range of motion on the table. Because not only are you getting stronger through a longer range, you're going to do so in a way that leaves your body for sure feeling a ton more injury resilient, but you're also recruiting more muscle fibers, more metabolically expensive, more muscle onto your hamstrings. In every way possible, don't do it. It's an ego thing for most people. Screw the ego. Leave that shit at the door. We're here to train proper. We're surgeons. Snipers. However, I think sniper's a better word, to be honest. Sniper's kind of badass. Now come out for partials. Bottom half lengthened. Oh my God, dude, that's awful. Yeah, man, that is absolutely terrible. Holy cow, dude, I'm lit up. But that's why I superset this way. You just maximize your time. A lot of people ask me, how many sets should I do? I want you to think of it like cardio. Like if I were to tell you to get into good cardio shape, what would you do? You'd probably run a mile, test that time and make sure that number got lower, lower, and lower. But we don't do that with weight training. We just kind of do 3 sets and 10 reps and all right, ticked off that box and ticked off that box versus thinking of it as a performance, right? You're performing. So obviously there's so many different factors in terms of performance, especially with weightlifting. That could be you going up in weight. That could be you doing more reps. That could be you doing supersets in this way, which I highly recommend. Me personally, I probably will do 3 sets of that back to back to back. Give myself a rest. This is my rest period. And then I get back on the saddle. No different. But a lot of people, like for you realistically, if you've never supersetted in this way, you probably need 2 sets, max. Real talk. And it's because your body isn't used to that type of stimulus. Like I'm absolutely, think about it. Started off, realistically, you could flip the pendulum on this one. The way I like to superset is on the front end, pick an exercise you want to progress in. So typically that's going to be a compound movement. And on the back end, you want that second exercise to take your muscle to complete failure, right? So that's going to be more of an isolation exercise typically. The point of it is first part is one you want to progress on weight-wise. Second part is just to take that muscle to complete failure. That's why I bias the same portion of the muscle back to back. It's absolutely magical. But when it comes to something like this, you can flip the pendulum either way. If you're really like, dude, I want to get strong on leg curls, put that first. If you're like, hey man, I really want to get nasty with those 90-90s like the weighted, run that. I'm telling you, no matter what, especially with those, and although your glutes are going to be beautifully activated, that's a little bit. Pause. I called it, boys, okay? Pause 100%. But point is, if you want to progress on an exercise like that, in my opinion, well worth it. But it works with the superset because your hamstrings are also firing off and you're increasing mobility. That's why when I squat, I'll go full run every single time. I'll pause at the bottom. My goal is to do that with 405. Right now I'm at 365. But pauses at the bottom, holding for like 3 seconds at a time, then exploding up. Yeah, for sure. Could I squat more if I just did, you know, the 90-degree requirement? For sure. I don't care to. Like, I'm not playing that game where it's like, yeah, technically I've done this, technically I've done that. It's like, if I can pause squat 405, it's a different animal. It's an entirely different squat. Ass to grass, holding, and then coming back up. And I like thinking things that way. Anyways, I hope this video is well worth your time. If there's anything you guys have questions about, specifically anything. If you're new on this page, I talk about just about anything. But you got to drop it down in the comments, and if I see enough thumbs up, I'll always make a video on it. My boys can attest. Anyways, I love you guys very much. Uncle Rami out. Peace.